Hello my dear viewers, welcome back to my channel. This video will be about how to maintain a good posture when wearing heels. It will be a video full of practical advice because wearing heels is very challenging for our posture. And I will explain why in the course of this video. But in any case, it is extremely important for your appearance, how you look like, and for your health and well-being to maintain the right and good posture when wearing high-heeled shoes. And not only the posture is important, but also the kinds of high heels that you are using. We will get to that later, but first of all, I want to welcome all of my subscribers and my new viewers, and if you are not yet subscribers, I would really be happy to welcome you. Just click the small red subscribe button and the notification bell, and that's it. You are part of my community. And now we will start with the most basic tip, as always. Basic but very important. Choose the right heels. You might think that this is so obvious and so basic, but believe me, most of us women, if we see a beautiful shoe in the shop or online, we sometimes are very tempted to buy this shoe or get it just because of how it looks. And we don't really think about various factors that will strongly influence on how we look like with this shoe, wearing this shoe, moving with this shoe, how it will affect our posture. The thing is that for most of us it is beneficial to avoid heels that are too high or too narrow, that have a heel that is too high or too narrow, and also the shoe itself should not be too narrow, because these can be especially difficult for your posture and especially difficult to walk in. So what happens when you are wearing those kind of high heels is that depending on how flexible your tendons are, you might not be able to stand up straight and completely stretch your knees. You might also not be able to completely stand upright. I will show you 3 kinds of high heels with 3 kinds of actual heels that I have, and which one I recommend and which one I don't. So the most comfortable one is actually this shoe that I have, and I have already demonstrated it in other videos because it's my go-to shoe. It's a little bit dressy, but it has a very wide heel, and it is also a little bit wider on the bottom. Still, it is quite narrow in the front, and it is very high. For me, it is very high. I think it's about 12 centimeters. So although this shoe is very high and is pointed, which is generally not the most comfortable choice, but sometimes we just want to look elegant, and these pointed shoes tend to look more elegant, then at least the heel itself will support you and you walk more comfortable. Imagine this kind of shoe with a very narrow heel. This would make it almost impossible to walk comfortably. The next high shoe or pumps that I am using are not so high heeled, but for me it's still a high heel because I am a tall woman and I am not used to super high heels. So this is also a broader heel, but it is a little bit more elegant. So it's a bit more narrow. And also it has a pointed toe, but due to the more stable heel, it is very comfortable to walk in. And also it sits very well. These kind of heels that I got from Zara only for a special occasion are different. They of course look very elegant, dressy. Yes, they are like more for an evening dress, of course. Or maybe you could also wear them to a very elegant club lounge or something like that. But the heels are not only high, but they are also narrow. And the shoe itself is open-toed and it is a slingback. I don't know why I got this shoe, because it has basically all the characteristics of an uncomfortable shoe, at least when you are not wearing heels very often and your feet are a bit problematic, like my feet are. But well, I got it because it looked kind of nice and I wore it and I really suffered so much. So I don't think that I will wear it again, or maybe only just for sitting situations, but this is what I mean. So beware of those kind of heels if you are not very experienced with them, or if they accompany a shoe that is sitting not very stable. And also be careful with heels that don't fit very well. So with heels that are too small, for example, you will be in so much pain that your whole posture will tighten and you won't be able to walk comfortably anymore, and your posture will not be upright. Your appearance will be tense. Your knees will probably also be a little bit too much bent in order to balance out the discomfort. Even if you would be wearing the most beautiful shoes, your whole appearance won't be feminine and beautiful anymore. In contrast, with heels that are too big and slide off your feet easily, you will also walk in a very insecure way and tense up your feet, which will also make it impossible to walk femininely and gracefully. So not only the heel is important, but also the fit of the shoe. You see, point number one is very basic, but basically the most important one with regard to a good posture, because without it, no good posture is possible. And now I have a secret tip from my experience. As you know, I am a dancer, so I am doing ballroom dances and social dances, and maybe you might have heard of dancing shoes. So we dancers usually use specific shoes that are for dancing, and those are also high heel shoes in most cases. Now I have discovered that there are specific shoes, and especially I'm referring to Tango Argentino shoes, so the shoes that the dancers that are usually used for Argentinian tango, that you can perfectly use as going out evening shoes. They look basically like normal high heels. Often they look very beautiful, like Italian designer shoes. And the difference to these shoes and normal shoes is that they are designed to make you feel comfortable and to make you able to dance the whole night. So although the shoes look almost like normal high heels, they are much more comfortable and they won't hurt you. So you can basically choose the model of the shoe and the color, the leather, even the height of the heel. So usually there is 7 centimeters, 8 centimeters, up to 10 centimeters. And then you can also choose the width of the shoe. So there are sometimes 3 to 4 kinds of widths depending on how wide or narrow your foot is. If you have a longer toe, if your second toe is sticking out, or if your toes are flat, it's really incredible. And they even recommend specific shoes for the hallux valgus, which I have, that's my problem. So I cannot wear all kinds of shoes because of that. And I found that that's a great alternative to normal shoes. I don't know if there are tango shoes in your country, but you can check that out. And the most important, these tango shoes, I usually have a leather sole, and it's not suede leather like for salsa shoes, but it is normal leather. And therefore you can wear them outside. Tip number 2, stand up straight. Good posture involves standing up straight, with your shoulders back and down and your head high. And this is especially important when you are wearing heels, as the added height can make it much more difficult to maintain a straight back. And I will tell you why. The heels push up your hips and put them in a different position. They also put your lower back in a different position. On the other hand, this effect is also kind of beneficial because your booty is pushed up a little bit and you are swaying your hips much more because of the space that is created when walking. It generally looks also more sexy, and also your hip movements appear larger. However, this positive effect can only be maintained if you also engage your core muscles. So the muscles of your belly area, especially here the middle, because this will help you to maintain the right position. I'm not wearing heels, but if I would be wearing heels, I can demonstrate that to you. My lower back would actually be pushed up, and then I would have to balance it out again. So if I'm engaging my core, then I can be much more stable with high heels, and also I will keep a better posture. The best would be if you do sports or activities that engage your core, that contain core exercises regularly, for example Pilates, yoga or dance. I do Pilates and belly dance. If you usually don't do core exercises, then at least pay attention to that area when you are wearing heels and correct your position and posture from time to time. Always try to think about pulling your belly button in and towards your spine. This will also make your figure look better because you won't have a belly. Tip number 4, taking smaller and slower steps. Walking slowly and taking smaller steps can also help you maintaining a good posture and balance while wearing high heels. So in general, I recommend you to avoid rushing and taking long strides, as this could make you lose your balance. Of course, when you see women walking on the catwalk or in a model-like walk, they are usually doing larger steps and they are walking quite fast. And this can look very confident and attractive too. But it's a rather advanced walking style. So this more energetic, catwalk-like style with larger steps is more difficult for most women, especially when they are not used to high heels and when they are not that tall and have shorter legs. That's why for beginners it is more easy to take smaller steps and walk more slowly. And this also leads me to the next point, point number 5, and that's find your personal walking style. So in order to have the perfect posture with high heels, you should also define your actual walking style. It really depends on your personal style and how you want to be perceived, whether you make smaller or larger steps or more energetic steps, and even your posture and the movement of your arms, your upper body can differ according to the walking style. And one is not better than the other, they are just different. Smaller and slower steps, for example, and a little bit more soft upper body movement and posture are usually used as a more feminine and sensual walking style. And larger and faster steps and more energetic and dynamic upper body posture and movement, looking more confident and more model-like, and they can also be very attractive. If you're interested in walking styles and find out your personal walking style, later on you will also be able to learn more about how to apply those walking styles, when to apply them, how to switch them according to outfits, to situations, according to your intentions. So I will be happy to see you there. Thank you for watching and bye bye.